Welcome to Rock Your Reinvention, the show for high-achieving career women who refuse to settle for mediocrity and aren't afraid to take bold action. This is a place where you can authentically show up, where every dream and goal can be validated and achieved. Hi, I'm your host, Karen Freeland, a certified life reinvention coach, speaker, and award-winning author. I'm here to give you the tips, tools, and strategies to help you shift your mindset, build your confidence, and take meaningful actions so you can rock your reinvention. Ready to go from stuck to thriving? Let's go. Hey there. Who's ready for a summer vacation? I know I am. But here's the deal. I am ready for a real vacation, okay? The kind that doesn't involve any work. One where I feel fully relaxed and rejuvenated after going on said vacation. However, for a long time, that was not my reality. And maybe that's not your reality right now either. But you'd like it to be. You're like, yes, I would love to go on a vacation where I'm not glued to my phone or my tablet or my laptop or any other company-issued device. And what's funny is that now when I reflect back and I look at my vacations, I realize that so much of the pain and the pressure was self-inflicted. Not all of it. Some of it was company culture. And there were times I was definitely told by a boss, no, you need to work. We need to be able to get a hold of you, which is just absolute garbage. But I want to invite all of you to really take that hard look at your situation and see what you can control and what you can start enforcing in terms of boundaries. And I think that most of us will find the majority of the stress and the burden that we put on ourselves is just that. It's something we put on ourselves. We bring it upon us. And there's many reasons we do that, right? Pressures from society, pressures from our peers. There's all kinds of reasons. Feelings of unworthiness, we're not good enough, overcompensating. And so that is definitely something that, a lot of you are going to have like a deeper layer that you may need to work through. But I really want to invite you to start putting up those boundaries and effectively unplugging from work so that you can enjoy vacation. By the way, that is time you actually have earned. Like that is part of your corporate package. You deserve those days off. And if you're an entrepreneur, guess what? You make your own vacation schedule. You get to determine. You might want to take a whole month sabbatical. Do it. There's no one telling you you can't. Again, we put those boundaries on ourselves. Oh, no, I couldn't possibly step away from my business. Oh, no, I couldn't possibly step away from my team. Friends, the sign of a great leader and a great business owner is that you can walk away and you have a fully functional team or business in your absence. Think about that. If your team falls apart every time you leave, it's time to look in the mirror. And I mean this with all the due respect and love, okay? It's time for a little tough love because you're telling yourself you can't walk away. And if you actually can't walk away, it's because you're not delegating effectively. You're not training your bench so that you can take time off and they can excel and do just fine without you. It doesn't mean you're not needed or the business doesn't need you if you walk away and it still functions. It means you're a great leader. Be the mindset shift a few of you needed today. So what I want to do as we head into summer, right? We're June. It's already kicking off, especially for those of us whose kids are already out of school. We're in full-on vacation mode. We're ready for summer. And some of you maybe, if you're in the north and your kids are still in school, like you're almost there. You're at the tail end. So you're really starting to think about this vacation time. So I thought it would be helpful to share 5 ways that you can effectively unplug for your vacations. And the first one is to plan ahead. What work can you actually complete before you go so that you don't have to work on your time off and you don't feel like you have all these things hanging over your head? My virtual assistant is getting ready for a vacation here pretty soon. And I don't want to bother her on vacation, and she shouldn't have to be bothered. So we've been batch recording a bunch of podcast episodes, getting them all edited and scheduled so that she can take time off and not have to worry about editing my podcast. We also had her plan all the social content ahead of time so that I could approve it, make any changes we needed, and she can schedule it before she leaves for vacation. Boom, done. Like, think about that for your business, for your work. What are the things that you could get a jump on now so that you don't have to worry about it while you're off on vacation? Maybe you have a busy season, at work. Well, if you can, let's try to avoid booking a vacation during that time, right? This is also part of the planning process. When you choose to go on vacation, maybe there's a big reorg planned. Probably going to want to avoid that. Now, I know we can't always plan around that, right? Like somebody plans a wedding and it's like, well, that's when they're getting married, right? You got to be there. But a lot of times we can be more thoughtful about our vacation times. When I used to work for a UK-based company, basically the entire company would go on vacation in August. And that was the perfect time for me to take off because most of the rest of the marketing team was off too. And nothing was really happening. I mean, B2B in the summer is usually slower anyway because they're all taking vacations too. So I was really fortunate that I could actually go on vacation and not work. Sometimes a little planning will make all the difference in getting that work-free vacation in. The second tip is to take shorter vacations. I get it. Sometimes taking a big chunk, 2 weeks off or a week and a half off at a time, even a week can be really hard. You come back to an inbox that's like a nightmare, right? You're like, oh, 7,249 unread emails. Yeah, cool, no problem. I'll get through this by tomorrow. Yeah, right? So what about taking shorter vacations? I love a good 4-day weekend getaway. Right? You leave on Friday, you're gone Saturday, Sunday, and you come back late Monday and you're back by Tuesday. Perfect. This might be really helpful for you so that you can still take time off, but 2 of those days are a weekend, so it doesn't really impact you as much, right? Like you don't have to worry about people wanting to reach out to you or having to move clients around or, come back to that overloaded inbox. Also, with those shorter times away from the office, you're going to be more likely to truly unplug and not think about work. I get it. 6, 7 days in, it's like, okay, you start thinking about the office. I got to get back. Got this to do, got that to do. But truly going on these shorter vacations, sometimes because it is such a shorter window, we're actually able to get through the 4 days without thinking about work, at least not as much. And then, by the way, you can get more of them in. Right? So you might take a short weekend vacation in June, July, and August. So now you get 3 vacations instead of just one huge one. Quick shout out to my latest 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. C. Marvin Fan, thank you so much. She said, Karen has the answer. The work Karen is doing on the show and with her clients around bouncing back from burnout and finding fulfillment and success in life is something everyone deserves and should invest in. Her passion is contagious and work ethic is unparalleled in her industry. If you are even a bit curious about what it's like to work with her, you should take the first tiny step and schedule a call with her. Thank you so much for listening, C. Marvin Fan, and for that amazing review. I appreciate you. And it's always great to hear that my passion is contagious because that is exactly why I do this. I want other people to have the joy and fun life that I get to have and just experience their true potential. So thanks for listening. And if you have a review, make sure you leave it and maybe you'll hear it on the show. Okay, the third thing I always recommend to my clients is the out of office message. Hold the phone. I know you've heard this before. And you're like, Karen, really? You're telling me to create an out of office message? Here's the kicker. You have to follow through. So put the out of office on and then follow through on actually not responding. Haha, see, that's different because I know you. You're a type A person and you are a goer and you do all the things. So you're like, yeah, I just have that on there just, but it's fine because I'm going to check a couple of times a week and do my emails. All you're doing is telling people you don't actually have boundaries or know how to hold them. Like you're literally training people to ignore any boundary you put up in any capacity of your work relationships. Don't do that. Put the out of office on and then do not respond. I don't care how mundane it is, how quick it'll be. Oh, Karen, it's just going to take me 20 seconds to respond to this email. Don't do it. Put the message on and then follow through. Here's the other piece of this. Please do not put, oh, in the event of an emergency, text me here. What? There are so many people who will text you and you will find out it is not actually an emergency. And I know so many people have this sense of pride almost that like, well, I want to be accessible, Karen. I'm trying to be available for my team. But here's the thing. Being available is not serving you, and it's not serving your team in the long run. Here's why. You're going to burn out. You're going to resent your job. If you have a spouse you're traveling with, they're going to be angry at you. And now you're damaging your relationship, or maybe your relationship with your kids, and they're missing out on this fun mommy time. But you're creating a toxic environment for yourself, all in the name of being available, accessible. Here's some more tough love. Sorry, I'm really nailing it today, but I mean, we got to talk about these things. No one gets promoted because they're really available. Okay? That is not a leadership quality. Leaders know how to put up boundaries. Yes, they are available at certain times, or when needed, they might do a town hall and say, I'm going to stay for an hour afterwards and be available to you. But they don't literally just leave their door open all day and be like, come in anytime. They'd never get anything done. So don't mistake being available with being a great leader, because it's not one and the same. You can take time off and be unavailable, and you will actually do better for your team because they will have to learn how to swim without you holding them. They will have to learn how to be self-serving, self-sufficient, a self-starter, resourceful. The best thing you can do for your team and for people that you work with is to be unavailable for extended periods of time from time to time. So do it, right? People get promoted because they're a visionary. They set strategy. They see the big picture. They're able to delegate. They can manage up really well. Sometimes that's how people get promoted. They're just really good at managing up. That no one has ever gotten promoted because they were super accessible. So if that's one of those things you've been priding yourself on, you can let go of that now and you can start enjoying your vacations. You're welcome. Okay, tip number 4, if you want to have a work-free vacation and totally unplug, is leave your devices behind. I know some of you are like, you're killing me. I can't do that. You can. Really, it's that easy. Just don't bring the laptop, the work phone, the tablet, any of it. End of story. Done. Just don't bring it. And I know it's a little scary the first time you do it, but I promise you, you will survive. How do I know? Because I've done it and my clients have done it. I had a client a while back and she hadn't been on, believe it or not, a work-free vacation in 8 years. 8 long years. She had not gone on a vacation without bringing her work phones or devices, like her laptop, and responding to people and doing work on vacation. And so we knew this vacation was coming up. We worked really hard to plan ahead, put the right out of office message on. And she actually told her team, I am leaving my devices at home. I am unaccessible. End of story. And she was like, oh my goodness, the first day was really terrifying. She kind of had like the shakes, like, oh, where's my phone? Where's my device? But by the end of the vacation, she was like, it was the most relaxing time I've had in decades. Like, so refreshing. So wonderful. She's like, and I didn't die and nothing bad happened and nothing blew up. And I'm like, I know. Can you believe it? It's going to be okay. You don't have to work on your vacations. So leave those devices at home. Now, if you're someone like me whose personal device and work-related devices are one and the same, like I don't have a company-issued device. I am the business. So my laptop is all the things as well as my phone. The best thing to do is turn off those work-related notifications so that you're not tempted to check every ping and every ding, right? Like I use Voxer with a lot of my clients, so they have access to me Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. Anything they need, they send me a message and I'm able to respond often real time. Unless I'm with a client, then I get back to them as soon as I can. So they will know when I go on vacation, hey, these are the days I'm out of office. I'm not going to be available on Voxer. Okay. Like that's just not going to be possible, right? I'm off. And they totally get it. They understand it's not a big deal. But I have to turn off the notification so I don't hear that little chirp chirp sound that I don't know, it's not really like a chirp. It's more like a walkie-talkie. Because if that comes through, it's going to automatically trigger me. Oh my gosh, my client needs me. Oh my gosh, I have to respond to this, right? And I don't have to because I'm on vacation. And the way I show up and be the best coach that I can be is by taking time off and rejuvenating myself and reading and getting more educated and, just giving myself time to think and get back in touch with my intuition so that I can serve them at the highest level. So turn off those work-related apps or pings and dings. Don't look at them if you don't have a separate device, right? That's the best way to manage it in that instance. Okay, the last tip I want to share with you, number 5, is communicate, 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 both to your stakeholders at work. This is when I will be on vacation, and with the people you are vacationing with. Okay, so I know some of you are going to have a hard time not working on vacation. And so sometimes we got to ease into these things. So let's say you decide, you know what? There's a couple of things I just really can't get out of, or my boss expects me to be on this one call or whatever it is. And you're like, okay, husband, friends, whoever you're vacationing with, this is the exact windows of when I need to do a little work, okay? These are the times, these are the dates when I will be doing some work. You do not want this to be a surprise for them. I'm telling you right now, it will not go over well. You show up at the beach, everybody's expecting to blast some party music and have a good time, and you're like, wait, I got to write a blog, or I got to do this thing for work, or create these PowerPoint slides. They're going to be like, what? What? You didn't tell us this. We're on vacation. Why are you working? Just trust me. I have ruined and gotten in more fights with my spouse on vacation because I did not clearly communicate exactly what times and periods of the vacation I would be working. Don't do this to yourself or to the people you're vacationing with. This is your time to connect with your friends, with your family, with your spouse. And by the way, with the most important person in the world, yourself. Hello. Your time for vacation is that time for you to re-engage with your higher self, tapping into your intuition. We need silence to function and stay on course. Because when we don't get that for really long extended periods of time, that's when we wake up one day and go, how did my life end up like this? What is happening? I didn't sign up for this. We have to have periods of silence, and vacation is a great way to get that. I had a client recently, and she had her first work-free vacation in years. They went to Mexico. She went with her family, and she came back and was like, Karen, I have not had this much time to think, and I don't even know. She's like, I don't even know if this makes sense to you, but I was finally able to think clearly. I'm like, yes, it makes perfect sense because you've been go, 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 trapped in a job you hated for so long. And now that you're out and you've got this mental capacity to think through all the things that you want to do and what's important to you and your values, I'm like, yeah, of course, you can now see things so much more clearly because you had time to think, to process everything that's been going on. Finally, for once. And it was such a beautiful awakening for her. She came back with so much clarity about the next steps she wanted to take in her career and her life and with her kids. And it was just so beautiful to get to watch that. I love when people have these light bulb moments and get the clarity that they've needed. So do yourself a favor and take time off, get reconnected with yourself. And if you do have to work it all on that vacation, which you probably don't, remember, go back to your mindset around this. But if you do, giving you a little wiggle room, then communicate the times of when you will be working and stick to that. Again, if you say, I'm going to work for 1 hour, really commit to that 60 minutes. Okay, don't go over because, again, this is when conflict arises. This is how the arguments start, and you don't need that. That is not going to help you get rejuvenated on your vacation. Okay, so I hope that this is painting the picture of why it's so important to unplug and take those work-free vacations. You deserve this. If you want some more tips on how to effectively unplug, I've got a guide with 15 ideas for you, okay? So go download it today. The link is in the show notes. 15 ways to effectively unplug from work on vacation. Go grab that free e-guide right now. It is going to be the perfect checklist for any vacation that you have coming up. And once you implement these 15 tips, you know what? You're going to wonder how you ever tolerated a work-saturated vacation before. You're going to be like, never again. This is it. We're done. This made it so easy for me to go and truly enjoy my vacation. It is possible, and I want that for you. So go book that vacation if you haven't yet. Start planning ahead. Make sure that you, if you need to, take shorter vacations because you might actually be able to pack in more. Put that out of office on and then follow through. Really, truly do not respond. Leave all your devices behind. You don't need to bring them. And if you absolutely have to work on your vacation, again, be sure to communicate it to everybody and stick to your word. I know those 5 tips are really going to help you enjoy your vacations this summer. And of course, make sure you have a little fun while you're there too. All right, until next week, stay fabulous. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're inspired to take action by committing to one of the tips or strategies we talked about in today's episode. And if you want accountability and support, I've got your back. Join my private Facebook group, Successful Working Women Rocking Reinvention today. You'll find a community of like-minded women waiting to support you, exclusive content, and helpful resources to ensure you succeed. Lastly, if you loved this episode, do me a favor and be sure to leave a review. Together, we can encourage more women to live their purpose. See you next time.